This is similar to previous conferences that used to be held at the Creek Nation, which was doing business in Indian country. The Justice on the Reservation is kind of that umbrella. So we can put justice comes in all kinds. Our next conference that I'm looking forward to will be on domestic violence. And it falls under the justice umbrella. And we look forward to a handful of future conferences that'll be here. We've got some nationally known, very well-respected trainers, and we can bring them in. Let's make this a hub of all of that information so it's all right here, and we can be the center of all of that good information and see that it gets implemented. It's great that everybody gets trained, but if you're not using it on the streets and in the courtrooms, what good is it? So that's what we're wanting to see happen. I have been training child abuse professionals for over 15 years. One of the things I know I can do is prosecute a child abuse case, but I can't do them all. I learned early on that teaching law enforcement, prosecutors, child advocates, everyone, that by working together as a multidisciplinary team is the best way to do a child abuse investigation. That way it's comprehensive. Not only that, but in Indian country, we get to utilize all of the resources that are there for victims, for families, and they're left along the way if we're not working together cohesively. Recognizing, even before the McGirt decision, there was a need for us to work with our state and federal partners on child abuse cases. I call them perpetrators, those who prey upon our children. They know where jurisdictions don't talk to each other and when there's friction, and that is an opportunity for them to prey on our kids, because if we're not working with our law enforcement partners, then there's that black hole of information. But if this is to not only work on basics on child abuse investigations, but also working with our partner, how we share information, how that should go back and forth, no matter who the child is, if they're Indian or not, perpetrator Indian or not, it must receive that same basic fundamental aspects of an investigation, regardless of the case. Best practices should be used on every case, not just certain ones. And so I want to make sure that we're talking about this for our Native children and all children on the reservation. And so that's why we're doing this.
I think it's going well. I had to step out for a little bit, but Raylene's presentation, she did an awesome job giving the history of Mvskoke people. I'm just going to kind of lead into other things today, so things are going to be great. I think she had over 300 registered to attend, so it's a time that we need to share. If there's questions or doubts about Supreme Court ruling or how we're going to work together, that's the main focus here today.
These wood plates are done in a southeastern or Mississippian period design. That type of artwork is what we used to use for the any kind of outside contact during the Mountain period down in Alabama and Georgia area. And I love using that design and doing that type of artwork, because to me it's one of the cleanest forms for any kind of outside influence, any kind of European influence, anything like that. And so I've always loved doing that style of artwork. It looks real good to me. Even though some people just basic, I guess not much to it. To me it means a whole lot more, because it's part of who we are, part of our heritage and culture. I sell online under Facebook, and also I got a page called Red Hand Designs. They can look me up there. I always put the latest thing I've been working on, or what events I'm going to, and where I'm going to be at next. The next event I'm going to be at is the OU Archaeological Conference, and in Norman, that's going to be this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We have
our federal partners. We have the Northern U.S. Attorney's Office, as well as the Eastern U.S. Attorneys. We have federal FBI agents, as well as federal CAFIs, Federal Child Abuse Forensic Interviewers. We have, I think there are a couple of sheriffs here and deputies from all over the reservation. I think that's one of the things that is important to me, that, we have a lot of area that we cover, but we overlap. So that's why we need to be here. We have some municipalities who are here as well, prosecutors, law enforcement, advocates, medical and mental health, all of them here to talk about how we can improve those investigations for our children.